Fantic e-bike lineup is quite the mystery, but this video is gonna change that. I upgraded this bike and made it an absolutely amazing ride. All Fantic e-bike owners are gonna gain a lot of value out of this video because these bikes are almost identical from 1.5 all the way to 2.0. My 1.7 is such an oddball. It's a 170 millimeter travel all mountain bike. Most all mountain bikes are like 150, maybe 160. The 1.7 here, this thing can plow rocky, rooty sections, but it really excels at slow speed maneuvering. Give this bike some tight backcountry trails and it really comes to life. Basically, the Fantic e-bikes are kind of an outdated geometry. They have a super short wheelbase, so they really like to go slow. This bike was a champion rock crawler up the trail. When the trail's very steep, it does whoop out and the front tire lifts up. One of the funnest jibbing, playing around bikes I've ever rode. I can only speak for the carbon bikes, but this is one of the most special carbon fiber bikes I've ever rode. It absorbs all the trail chatter and just makes a very, very smooth ride. This bike excels at non-biking trails. Like, this wasn't even a trail and I was just riding under the waterfall and it was doing great. Got extremely tall bottom brackets, so you got a ton of pedal clearance. True to its roots, all mountain bike, I'm calling the Fantic 1.7 the king of backcountry. Its compact wheelbase, long travel, extraordinarily tall bottom bracket, slack seat angle makes an all-day ride extremely comfortable and epic. So taking a look at the rear end of this bike, it's got kind of a special design. It's not a horse link like Specialized. It's called Full Floater. Found that on their website. My original full suspension bike was a Trek Remedy and it had a full floater suspension. It's not the plushest ride, but it's very efficient. Fantic Bike suspension platform really lends itself towards a coil shock. Look at the Audi bike, it comes with the coil shock. One of the better upgrades, but we gotta talk about upgrades later. Fantic was the first bike manufacturer to offer a bike in mullet wheels, so they're very innovative and future thinking. The bike has very good bones. It's got the famous Brose motor, the same as Specialized. You can hardly tell the difference between a Specialized motor and this one. While I had my friend behind the camera, I rode as many trails as I could on the Fantic. This is a standard trail system with a variety of terrain. The Fantic jumps pretty good. It's fun to ride in the corners. It's not the most capable park bike, and it's not all rosy. The construction of the Fantic is a little fragile feeling. You know, everything's a trade-off in life. The bike's super compliant, but when you come up short and case a jump real hard, it feels like it's gonna disintegrate. Standard trail riding, this bike has an outstanding riding position for cross-country riding. If you got some slower trails, you're gonna really have fun. The bike is so maneuverable. When the terrain gets chunky, it's really fun and capable, especially with that coil shock. I almost went off the bridge here because I'm learning how to use clip pedals, don't mind the riding. Finishing the day off on this standard jump line, the Fantic jumps really good. I can whip the bike around. It's not particularly good in these bike park berms because I can't rail into them because of that tall bottom bracket, but it is fun. We're just gonna call this the fun bike. Proper machine trails, the Fantic 1.7 or Fantic bikes shouldn't be your first pick. I mean, they're not bad. I'm able to whip the tail around because of that compact wheelbase. After about 25 laps, I was starting to dial it in and really get the hang of it. But once again, the bike's extremely fun. You can just fishtail it out and just have a good old day. So the Fantic 1.7, These bikes are leaning on the trail side, as where some all mountain bikes are leaning to the enduro side. Traditional riders are really gonna appreciate that compliant ride and short wheelbase. If you got backcountry in your neighborhood, this could be a real option for you to buy. But if you're at the bike park, I'd probably skip this bike.